Dolavina, Bulavinaka, and a very good afternoon to you all. First of all, I pay my respect to the Vanua of Nandronga. And I also thank for the kind introduction and for making me feel at home already. I feel as if I own one of these houses and I'm going to stay here forever. Such a warm presence, and you just made me comfortable, so comfortable. So thank you very much. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Tui Tambani Vono, Vanua Tamani Vono, Tui Mandundu, Vanua Mandundu, UNDP representative Mr. Ezekieli Valemai, acting provisional administrator Nandronga Navosa, Ms. Meresi Rakulawa, chairperson of Fiji Arts Council, Ms. Florence Swami, and the board members of Fiji Arts Council, the director of Fiji Arts Council, Mr. Penny Gabulangi, Rokutui Nandronga Navosa, Mr. Seru Nasangabale, senior government officials, media representatives, Lawai, Nakambuta, and Nayawa Pottery Women's Group, ladies, gentlemen, and children. Thank you for the invitation to officiate at this launch of the Pottery Cooking House project. It is a great day for the three villages of Nakambuta, Lawai, and Nayawa in this beautiful province of Nandronga and Navosa. Pottery making is unique for these three villages. I am pleased to witness and see for the first time that women of these villages continue with the cultural practice of pottery making, which is a heritage art unique to these three villages. We all know pottery styles and decorations have changed over time when compared to the Lapita pottery, which dates back to 3,000 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Fiji government is committed to preserving and protecting our cultural heritage. Fiji's National Development Plan, that is the blueprint which the government follows, seeks the protection and promotion of unique Fijian cultural heritage for sustainable development. Cultural heritage provides individuals and communities with an identity that is unique to them. Our rich cultural heritage includes language, food, festivals, rituals, arts, and traditions. The Ministry of Heritage and Arts provides grants to the different cultural agencies which comes under this ministry, and these agencies are Fiji Arts Council, National Trust of Fiji, Fiji Museum, and the 5 multicultural centers to promote, preserve, and safeguard the heritage and arts in Fiji. And I would say the bigger recognition is the fact that the Ministry of Education carries the word heritage and arts. The government has been providing various levels of support to cultural and creative industries at the national level. Some of us may feel that that recognition is not there, but let me re-emphasize the recognition the government is giving to creative and cultural industries. One good example is the introduction of Fijian Made and Fijian Buy certification logo that gives everyone the opportunity to easily recognize Fijian produce, products, or services. This campaign was initiated by the Fijian government to create a Fijian brand to promote locally made, locally sewn, locally designed products. And this was done to protect our products. We know that in the marketplace, very similar products were being sold to our consumers, But these products were not made locally. They were coming from the Asian market, but sold as locally made products. So to protect our local artisans, our local artists, it became very important for us to come up with this particular campaign and to develop the certification logo. The Ministry of Education promotes culture, heritage, and arts by including this in school curriculum. The social science curriculum covers aspects of culture, heritage, and arts for years 9 and 10. And again, culture, heritage, and art is taught in the vernacular subjects. As we revise our curriculum, we will ensure that we include creative and cultural industries, because we know that creative and cultural industries create self-employment and develop strong networks within the communities. But I also know there are challenges faced by the schools while they want to promote our cultural heritage. But then there is lack of qualified teachers who can actually teach art and craft. So what Ministry of Education has done, we started recognizing the importance of providing artists as teachers, and we have agreed to register artists to teach within the school system. To address this shortage, it is equally important to increase scholarship for culture and arts. Another challenge we have on hand is how to elevate our arts and artists. We have natural talents and skills, but it is not seen as a career option or treated as a profession. Ladies and gentlemen, if we really look at the cultural and creative industries and how it is contributing at the global level, it actually contributes around 3% of GDP globally, and that's a very big percentage. And similarly, it is contributing also at the local level. And that brings us to the point that we need to continue our cultural knowledge and skills. We need to pass on this knowledge and skills to communities, and it is essential that we do that because that is our identity, and we need to preserve our identity and continue with our creative industry. But who can do that better while we are pursuing this through school system? But you all sitting here can do far better work than what the school system can do. And that is passing this knowledge and skills to our younger generation through the traditional practices such as music, dance, food, clothes, artifacts like pottery making. I would like to acknowledge the contribution made by UNDP and for UNDP to work in partnership with Fiji Arts Council to construct these pottery making houses. I understand in September 2020, UNDP approached Fiji Arts Council to assist in micro and small businesses. And this assistance was really to help those who suffered badly during COVID-19 pandemic. But remember, that was September 2020, which was just the first phase of COVID-19. We did not experience the second wave. The grant was, as you know, was towards building these cooking houses. And I'm told until now, the potters actually relied heavily on sunshine for drying the pots. Proper and well-structured cooking houses with health and safety requirements will help artisans to earn a living and to continue with their craft. I am also told that apart from proper infrastructure and boiling equipment, artisans were trained on quality packaging, labeling, and marketing, which is extremely important. Sometimes we see that the craft that is produced through our artists and artisans are not packaged properly. And that does not create or make the product of value. But as soon as you put that into a proper packaging, it attracts everyone's attention and they want to have a piece of that product. The Fiji Arts Council has many years of experience in implementing community-based projects. This project became a reality after several rounds of consultation with the villages, the provincial office, and a series of visits they made to raise awareness. The men, women, and youths worked together using the Sole Solevaki concept to complete this project. I'm happy to note that Fiji Arts Council is already assisting Lawai, Nakambuta, and Nayawa pottery communities and Lomawai salt makers to have their own unique branding using the traditional motifs, trademark, and including Made in Fiji logo for quality assurance. One of the most important roles of the Fiji Arts Council is to advance social and economic empowerment of crafters and artisans in Fiji. And I encourage the Council to continue its support and facilitate more such cultural and traditional practices. The COVID-19 pandemic had a huge impact on our cultural and creative industry. With tourism coming to a halt, now that the borders are open, the artisans have started their business. And I was in Momi yesterday, and I can tell you, the people of Nandi are so excited with the border opening. It's really like a music to your ear when you are in the hotel and you hear the traditional beats, the music, as well as the dance that is being performed in the hotels. We are almost like back to the pre-COVID days. In the hotel, it was such a pleasure just listening to the Christmas carols being sung in our traditional dialect. I'm also confident that the pottery communities in Sigatoka will benefit from the opening of our international borders to sell their crafts, particularly pottery, fired in these new pottery houses, to our tourists. These villages are centrally located, and there are some hotels which is in the close proximity of these villages in Coral Coast. Thank you for working together in unity and for the shared vision in the spirit of Sole Solevaki, which are essential values that sustain our communities. I also like to encourage our artists and artisans that the time is right for you to go to another level. I know traditionally we have been trying our level best to sell these items to our tourists, but now with e-commerce, or what I call online buying and selling, the opportunity is huge. Anyone, anywhere, in any part of the world can buy your products. So take this opportunity and you start thinking big and you will get there. Just last week, I was in one of the villages in Aikasiri, and it was a women empowerment project where FNU through the TVET program uh, simply trained the village women in various activities such as jewelry making, screen printing. They also trained them in sewing and hairdressing. And just talking to these women, they feel so empowered. They feel so empowered because they can do this business within the community. The women who are trained now to do hairdressing and makeup, they told me that they are really busy in the village. No matter which activity happening in the village, they are called. They go house to house doing the makeup and hairdressing for the ladies. And they've also gone online to sell some of their crafts. So I only wish that this village can connect with TVET at FNU, and you can also embark into empowerment and some real money making. So in conclusion, I wish you all the best, and I also wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Vina Valevu, thank you and dhanyavad.
Please.
Thank you.